Okay, it's been about 5 minutes of turning, and I went through that without sharpening the skew. Now I'm down to the final stages, and sometimes I like to sharpen the skew right here because the automotive paint and other stuff like that can be pretty hard on the tips and can dull it pretty good. So now you can see, I'm going to show you the angle of the skew. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not looking at the camera, so that we get a little idea of what the angle and the cut looks like and everything. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to do a little bit finish cutting here. Again, I'm just barely holding it so lightly. And then if I get it this way, I'm too aggressive. So I'm bringing the tail around so it's more of an angle like this. And just kind of really tiny light cuts. See the tiny little shavings that are coming up there? Getting those kind of shavings, you're doing really good, even with the resin and the Fordite. Skew is sharp and you're taking light cuts the right way. And I run this down to where the bushing is just almost exactly even. And sanding will take care of a little bit more here. I have the shape almost the way I want it. But I'm kind of taking a little bit more of a taper here. I don't want it to be a fat bulb in the middle. Some people like really fat pins. I like them just a gradual taper. So that's what I'm doing with this one. And this one's actually going to be for, I believe, a hairstylist who's going to use it in her sign-in logs. So I want it to look kind of a little bit sleek and elegant, I think. So I'm just taking really light cuts. And I'll keep the compressor usually on. Not everybody has to have this one. Clean stuff away now and then, make it just easier to see what I'm doing. Come back in here. I'm going to switch and come to the other hand because it's something you learn to do eventually, hopefully. And I still master it. To hear that little bit of pink catch. I heard a little tiny noise. I'll make sure none of the paint came off. Didn't look like it. Okay. Whenever you hear anything strange, you stop and check it. In this area here, especially got a little bit of a fat taper to it, so I'm working it down a little bit more. And you just keep having to be patient, especially with stuff like Fordite or seashells. Seashells, I use a carbide tip, kind of like a skew. Fordite's not that hard, but it's very abrasive and blow the tools pretty quickly too, because you got automotive paint, especially a lot of it have metal in it. Metallics and stuff in it. I'm going to keep doing this all the way out, and I'm almost there now. Anything is, do not get too aggressive. If it feels like it's cutting in hard, you should back off and reevaluate what you're doing. It should almost float along the top, just lightly. If you kind of have your fingers right along here, you can kind of just follow the guide. You get the line you want. And let the round tool rest, if you have one. The back of the tool rest can be your guide. Other good idea is to keep your tool rest waxed when you can. Sometimes there's a tendency to be afraid of it to stop when the pins are too back. But you know what? If something happens at the ends, that's usually what happens and not so much in the middle. So don't be afraid to take out that little middle a little more. Blow this off a little bit one more time. And I can see from the profile this tapers up nicely, but I don't have quite the taper on this end, so I'm going to come back. And just keep pulling stuff across. And I watch the profile of the top. I can see what's happening to my pen body line. And it's symmetrical and I like it. which I'm very, very close now. It's probably where I'm going to stop. And now we can see what I've got. And you can see there's usually no voids in most of this pour, so I'm really happy with most of these blanks. And if you just have to be careful, I'm going to have a real pretty pattern when I sand this down. It's going to be a really pretty pen. Okay, thank you for now.